Okay, you're back with us. We're still talking to Dino Rodriguez and EJ Anyo Jr. Both of you came out with very good suggestions. Anybody listening, and shouldn't have this been done like, not tomorrow, but yesterday?
Well, I don't know if EJ will agree with me, but I think, syempre, it's an organization that is governed by several entities. I mean,
Okay.
you're talking to different offices.
Okay.
So I think it's the communication between these offices that is causing the delay. But hopefully, eventually, they will come to a formal agreement with.
EJ, you're optimistic.
Yeah, I'm optimistic.
Okay. I'd like to hear that. We'd like to hear that from you. Okay,
Well,
good.
in the past kasi, since R8 and 591 has just been rolled out this 2014. And from that point up to now, you have seen like four or five various chief FAOs that have changed places. So that's one thing then that probably would like to get addressed because the continuity of the process is affected. There will be chiefs na are very, like our current chief ngayon, he is helping us out.
Okay.
But whenever it gets...
What's his name so that mabanggit naman?
Colonel De Leon. Colonel De Leon is
Colonel De Leon.
helping us.
Mabait.
Yeah, he's
okay.
Helping to work out yung mga previous improvements from General Binag. And we would like to see these improvements get carried on as new chief FAOs are replaced because it's an industry that remains here regardless kung umaalis yung mga dating chief.
Yes.
So we want a better transition pagdating sa process ng firearms so that hindi kumbaga may mga instance kasi na halimbawa may isang chief na medyo
mas stricto
or hindi siya familiar sa ano, so we don't go back to like a Stone Age area of our particular issue. Pero yeah, I am optimistic kasi I can see our administration is supportive naman with legal gun owners. It's just a matter of eliminating yung bureaucracies involved kasi if we get all the red tapes gone and then have more more crackdown or yung mga nag-a-abuse ng law, more punishment or probably make them more accountable, then it would be a better system. Kasi like in Davao, if you're getting like your driver's licenses or even your clearances, ang bilis mag-act ng government eh. You don't have to be a VIP.
Yes.
Like in Manila, pag kukuha
Kailangan,
ka ng ganitong clearance, abutin nga 2 linggo, 3
Tapos sabi ni
linggo.
Presidente, dapat wala na nakapila, wala nang red tape, di ba? Si Presidente na nagsabi.
So yeah, that's what we see na maganda sana ma-implement later on pagdating sa mga agencies natin, which in turn would also help pagdating sa processing ng firearms.
Dino, I don't know if I'm wrong, no, but before you were allowed to own an automatic, di ba? Full auto.
Before, but that was a gray area at the time. The chief PNP was empowered to issue licenses for full automatic rifles.
Okay.
But
under the new law?
Under the new law, we are only allowed to own semi-automatic rifles. 5.56 to 7.62 caliber. But if I were, let's say, a previous owner of a full automatic rifle, then the law will not restrict me.
Will not apply.
The law will not apply for that. Grandfathering yan.
Here is now the question. You know, guns are like heirlooms, di ba? You know that, jewelry, like a watch you give to your son, you know, your favorite son, galing sa akin yan, pinaghirapan ko. What happens to your automatic firearm?
Okay, if I were an owner and I pass, then my firearm will automatically be my heirs will be the next of kin will have a chance to own that.
They can, huh?
But they have to convert it to semi-automatic at that point. That is the current interpretation of the PNP, and that is also how I understand the law.
Pwede ba i-convert yung ano?
Pwede i-convert through a certified gunsmith that is authorized by the PNP to do the conversion. So if you want to have it transferred, let's say I have a full automatic rifle right now, I want to transfer it to you, I have to have it converted first to semi-auto before I can sell it.
Okay, tell me the wisdom from both of you. Sige. I want to hear the wisdom so that yung mga ibang taong iba ang pananaw, they can be convinced. What do you agree with the wisdom? What do you think?
Well, I, it's very fun to shoot a full automatic
Exactly,
rifle,
exactly.
but in an urban setting like ours, I personally I do not think we actually need full auto, semi-auto rifle for sporting and for self-defense.
Pwede
Is
na.
more than enough for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I think even the military rarely uses yung full
Full
auto
auto, yes.
capability. It's just for a matter of suppressive fire. So
Correct.
pagdating sa civilians, I think we're trying to manage or strike a balance between the security of the country versus allowing our legal law-abiding citizens to own firearms. So full auto, I think they're right that it can be classified as a Class A weapon, which is for military purposes.
Right now, it seems that it's very strict, no? You cannot buy an M16. Gamitin ko na lang M16 para naintindihan mo ito. You cannot purchase an M16, bullet or right now, no? Parang pinagbabawal, no?
Right now, yes. There was a directive issued by the President halting the sale of high-powered M16 ammunition. So this is more of for national defense concerns. Kaya the PNP has also implemented that throughout the Philippines.
Is it because there is fear that these bullets, the end user might end up being rebels? Could that be the reason?
Yes.
Kayo magagaling eh.
As far as I am aware, that's the primary reason why the president, because the president is he likes our industry. He actually during the Davao Gun Show, he was actually very supportive of our industry. The thing is, syempre, we have a president that's both close to the people and his government troops. So when he was visiting camps, he was seeing the wounded soldiers all being treated in the various hospitals with wounds from, ammunitions from M16 and M14 rifles. And I think that's where it started.
Right now, what is the status? You can own as much guns as you want. What are the fees? Is it a collector's fee? How does it go for those who would like to own more guns?
Yeah, it depends on the LTAF or the type of LTAF that you get approved for. So you have basically Type 1, which allows you to carry 2 firearms.
Okay.
Type 2, which allows you to carry 5 firearms.
When you mean carry, please explain that.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean
to
carry
own.
in your license for license to own and possess firearms.
Okay.
Not carry outside the residence.
Yes,
It's
yes.
another permit for that. And then you have Type 3, which is by law you have been inspected by PNP that you have a proper storage for your firearms. And that's also where they allow by law civilians for semi-automatic in terms of 5.56 and 7.52 caliber, 7.62 caliber.
Number of bullets. Kasi pati yung number of bullets, di ba, is limited, no?
Yeah, per firearm,
50?
it's around 50. Pero if you're using it for the range or for shooting sports, you can apply for a competitive shooter.
Okay.
Which is which adds about, I think, 150. 1,000. Yeah,
1,000. Okay. What does being a member of a gun club do? Does that give the PNP an indication that you are actually a responsible gun owner and that you're part of the pillars of good society?
Yeah, EJ already mentioned the sport shooter.
Yes.
In order that is an add-on to your LTAP.
Okay.
So I can have an LTAP and not be a sport shooter if I only want to own a firearm for my home defense. But if I want to compete,
yes,
as we all know, ang competition uses more than 50 rounds.
Yes.
So a competitive shooter will apply for a sport shooter license, which will allow him to own more than 50 rounds.
Okay.
In order to apply for a sport shooter license, you have to be a member of a gun club.
Okay.
So that's where the gun club comes in.
How about if you make your own bullets? You have to be a member of the gun club
you
also.
also have to be a member of a gun club. Because reloading machines are not licensed to the individual. They are licensed to the gun club where you are a member of.
Why 50? Did any of you discuss this? Why 50 bullets for a pistol? Of course, 50, no? But if you have a semi-auto, that's 50.
It's like one magazine, 1.5 magazine.
Exactly, it doesn't make sense. I can understand 60, no? Yeah. So I mean, is there a way of, I don't know, amending the law that if you have a semi-auto, at least you have 2 magazines? Wag naman yung parang 30 and then 20, di ba? I don't know. What do you guys think?
That is actually a good suggestion. The 50 is a carryover from PD 1866.
Oh.
And I guess we all missed that point. That we should have
at least 2 magazines.
Yes, at least 2 magazines for rifles.
Oh.
Especially now with the new technology coming in.
Yes.
Some pistols even have a capacity of 30 rounds.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's again a magazine and a half for a pistol.
It's like they treated all firearms in the same category.
Because I guess when 1866 was crafted, it was only the 1911 single stack being used, which is a 7-round magazine.
Pero kung high cap ka,
kulang na yung 50 rounds.
How is the industry doing? I mean, with the new rules, with Marawi, or was Marawi good for the industry?
Well, it depends kasi you're seeing some downsides and upsides from the recent events. Like may downside, it's difficult to sell to our clients in Mindanao.
Yes.
Because permit to transports aren't getting approved, and they're not really allowed to move ammo from one place to another. But for example, in Manila, concerns also help our industry in terms of people are becoming more aware how do they defend their communities, their families. So they in turn look at the defense industry. What are their options? Do I buy a gun? Do I buy tasers or like pepper sprays? So yeah, it comes with we take the good with the bad, or vice versa.
Is applying for a license very difficult now?
Well,
or as EJ says, more tedious?
It's more tedious, but it's easier now. In 2014, when I applied for an LTAP, it took me almost 7 days to complete the process.
Okay.
Just because I had to go back and forth to the local municipalities to get my police clearance, court clearance. But now, during the time of General Espina, he added supplemental options to the current LTAP requirements, which gave the applicant more choices, like to prove that I do not have a pending case.
Yes.
Wala akong kaso sa korte. I can either submit an MTC, Metropolitan Regional Trial Court clearance,
or RTC,
or NBI clearance.
NBI clearance.
So now it's easier. NBI, you can get online, you can get it within the day. MTC, you spend 3 days going back and forth, in my case, from my experience. But now, you will just have to spend about half a day to process your application, then you're done.
Even on that point of having a case, di ba pag may kaso ka, under the law, kukunin yung baril mo, no? Do you remember this, I had him guested here also, the guy from Hagibis before? The guy who shot several people? Sonny Parsons, who went to his house. Technically speaking, he can be disarmed.
Because he went out of the house?
Yeah, defending his family. So, and then a second time, he was struck again. Imagine if he didn't have any firearm because there was a pending case. I mean, isn't that, in short, if you are not the provocateur who started the violence, ikaw ang kukunan ng baril, what happens pag, you know what I'm understand, my point is, though, I don't know whether that's a good basis for you to deposit your firearms while a pending case is ongoing, no? And then you have no police protection, no? So
and it can even be used to harass you.
Yes.
They can file a case and then you eventually get disarmed
Yes.
because there's a pending case.
There's a pending
even
case.
a conviction.
Yes, there has to be, I don't know, maybe you guys can look into it, because just the mere fact that you file a case, you're rendered naked actually, and the whole world knows it, no? Especially against your. We're going to pause for a few reminders for our final segment. Thank you.